end of chapter 8, we saw that how the Yudhishthira Maharaj was feeling dejected because of so many people killed just to enthrone him as a king of Hastinapur. So, and as a consequences of that dejection, Yudhishthira Maharaj is going on the battlefield to see how the war was played and how many people were killed. He was feeling so dejected. And Sukha Goswami is talking here that Iti Vita Praja Droha Sarva Dharma Vitsaya Tato Vinasanam Pragada Yatra Deva Vato Apatat. So here it says Sukha Goswami said that being afraid for having killed so many subjects on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Maharaj Yudhishthira went to the scene of massacre. And when he's going there on the battlefield, also so Bhisma was lying on the bed of arrow about to pass away. Bhisma was, anyway, Bhisma has a benediction of his, he can leave the body at his own desire. So that was his benediction. And Bhisma was lying there. Okay. So he was about to pass, okay, and he was waiting for Lord Krishna. So in the last chapter, we saw that how Lord Krishna tried to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj, and even Lord Krishna arranged that Vyasdev and other sages also tried to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj, but he was not convinced by their words. So one of the reasons Acharya mentioned that Lord Krishna wanted to glorify Bhisma. That Yudhishthira Maharaj, from the heart, Lord Krishna from the heart of Yudhishthira Maharaj inspired him to go on the battlefield where massacre was happened. And when he goes there, he also saw the Bhisma. So that's why, he inspired Yudhishthira Maharaj to go to Bhisma. Why? So Lord Krishna wanted to establish that even in such a painful situation, maybe whatever painful situation, maybe the devotee may be lying on the bed of arrow or whatever, but devotees are, they're in their proper consciousness of Krishna. That that way Krishna is going to glorify Krishna Dev. But how? Although he was in such a painful situation, physically, externally, but his consciousness was very, very clear. So, so by the will of Lord Krishna, Bhismadev will impart instruction to King Yudhishthira on the subject of occupation duties. And Bhismadev will also offer his last prayer to Lord Krishna on the verge of passing away from this mortal world and thus become liberated from the bondage of further material engagement. Okay, so yeah, so Bhismadev was waiting for that proper time. Okay. So then, Sadate Bhratara Sarve Sadascheva Swama Bhusite Anva Gachan Vather Vipra Vyasa Dhomya Dayastatha. So Yudhishthira Maharaj accompanied by his brothers on beautiful chariot drawn by first class horses decorated with gold ornament. And with them, who was the Vyasdev and Dhomya Muni. Dhomya Muni was the priest of Pandava. Okay. And others were also there. And he says, Bhagwan api viprase rathena sa dhananjaya satir vaya tir vaya rochitam rupa kuvera eva bhuyaka. So how they were looking? So when they were going there, so Goswami Singh all sages, is telling to Sona Krushi that Lord Krishna, the personality of God, had also followed, seated on the chariot of with Arjuna. And thus King Yudhishthira was very aristocratic like Kuvera, surrounded by his companion, the Guhyakas. So Lord Krishna wanted the Pandavas. So why Lord Krishna wanted Pandavas to be present before Bhismadev in the aristocrat order so that he might be pleased to see them happy at the time of his death. So now, Bhismadev has taken a vow that unless and until he sees that Hastinapur is in the right hand, so till that time he'll not leave the body. So seeing the Pandavas in aristocratic order, Bhisma will be free from his pratigya vow, so that he can leave the body peacefully. That's why Krishna wanted that Bhisma sees Pandava in such an aristocratic order. Whereas the richest of all demigods and here in King Yudhishthir appeared like him for the procession along with Sri Krishna. Okay, so that was quite befitting to royal king, right? So when he says, Sristvani patitam bhumo divyaschutam ivamaram pranemu pandava bhismam sanuga sahachakrina. So seeing Bhisma lying on the ground like the demigod fallen from the sky, Pandava king Yudhishthira, along with his younger brother and Lord Krishna, go down before him. Even when Lord Krishna was present, Bhisma was, in terms of age in this material world, Bhisma was elder than Lord Krishna, material as per the material social custom. So Lord Krishna was also going down in front of Bhisma, unto Bhisma Dev to set and right example. Okay. So yeah, so they bowed down before Bhisma Dev. Okay. So then he says, Tatra Brahmarsaya Sarve Devarasya Sattama Rajarsayasya Tatrasan Drashtum Bharatam Pungavam. Just to see the chief of descendant of King Bharat, Bhisma, all the great souls in the universe, namely the rishis amongst the demigod, Brahmana, and kings, all situated in the quality of goodness, were assembled here. Okay, so yeah, so Bhisma himself was also Brahmarshi. Okay, and the chief of the descendant of King Bharata, he was Brahmarshi. All rishis are situated in quality of goodness, and all of them assembled there to hearing the news of great warriors impending death. So everyone was coming there to see to see the great example how to live body, how to live this body. So Bhisma is setting the great example how to live from this material world. So then who all came? Parvato Narado Dhumya Bhagwan Badarayana Bruhadasya Bharadwaja Sasisya Renukasutah Vasishta Indra Pramadasтрito Ruta Samdho Astiha Dashivan Gautamo Atrisya Gausiko Atha Sudarshana. So all the sages like Parvatmani, Narada, Thomya, Vyas, the incarnation of God, Brihadasva, Bharadvaj, Parsuram, and disciple of Vasishta, Indra Pramad, Trita, Grusmada, Asita, Kakshivan, Gautama, Atri, Kausiki, and Sudarshan were present. All the sages were present. So their histories are given here. So you can read that. Okay. So I can read about Dhaumya Muni. Dhaumya was the great sage who practiced severe penance at Utkochak Tirtha and was appointed royal priest for Pandava. Okay. He acted as a priest in many religious functions of the Pandavas, and also each of the Pandavas was attended by him at the betrothal of Draupadi. He was present even during the exile of Pandavas and used to advise them in circumstances when they were perplexed. Instructed them how to live incognito for 1 year. These instructions were strictly followed by Pandava during that time. His name is mentioned also when the general funeral ceremony was performed after the Battle of Kurukshetra. In Anusasan Parva of Mahabharata, he gave very elaborate religious instruction to Maharaj Yudhishthira. He was actually the right type of priest of householder, for he could guide the Pandavas on the right path of religion. He was great king to guide the great Brahmana. A priest is meant for guiding the householder progressively on the right path of ashram dharma. So, how to follow Grihastha ashram, Grihastha dharma. So he was there to guide them. There is particularly no difference between family priest and spiritual master. The sages, saint, and brahmana were specifically meant for such a function. So, yeah, it is mentioned about him. So I'm not going to read everyone, but you can go through this. He says, Anyecha munayo Brahman Brahmarata dayo amala sisye rupet ajagmu Kasyapangi Sadaya, and many others like Sukdev Goswami and other purified soul, Kashyapa, Angirasa, and others, all accompanied by the respected disciple arrived there. Okay. Okay, so Sukdev Goswami, Brahmarata, the famous son of disciple of Sri Vyasadeva, who taught him first Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam. So, first of all, Vyasadeva taught Mahabharata to Sukdev Goswami. Sukdev Goswami recited 14 lakh verses of Mahabharata in the Council of Gandharva. There are 1 lakh verses in Mahabharata. Okay, so he recited 14 lakh verses. And Yaksha and Rakshas, and he recited Srimad Bhagavatam for first time in the presence of Maharaj Parikshit. Okay, so that is the glory of Sukdev Goswami. There is other thing mentioned, so we will read about Parikshit, Sukdev Goswami. Okay. So then he thoroughly studied all the Vedic literature from his great father. Thus, he was completely purified soul, dint of the extensive knowledge in the principle of religion. From the Mahabharata Sabha Parv, it is understood that he was also present in the royal assembly of Maharaj Yudhishthir and at the fasting of Maharaj Parikshit as a bona fide disciple of Srila Vyasadeva. He inquired from his father very extensively about religious principles and spiritual values. His great father also satisfied him by teaching him the yoga system by which one can attain the spiritual kingdom, the difference between fruitive work and empiric knowledge, the ways and means of attractive spiritual realization. So all those things he learned from Vyasadeva. So this is the history given. Then in the next verse he says, Dana sametan mahabhagan upalabhya vasuttama Uchyamasa dharmagyo desakala vibhagavit. So Bhisma, who was the best among the 8 Vasus, received and welcomed all the great and powerful rishis who were assembled there. For he knew perfectly all the religious principles according to the time place. So, expert religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principle in terms of time and place. So all the great acharyas or religious preachers or reformers of the world execute their mission by adjusting the religious principle in terms of time and place. And there are different climates and situations in different parts of the world. If one has to discharge his duty to preach the message of the Lord, he must be expert in adjusting the things in terms of time and place. Just like, it is said that, we should worship the Krishna. When we worship Lord Krishna, the Tulsi Maharani should be present. But if you go to country like Russia, it's so much cold atmosphere that Tulsi Maharani cannot survive that, in the plant form. So what do? They keep photograph of the Tulsi Maharani. So that is accepted. If you go in desert, there is no water to take bath. Then how you can take a bath? How you can worship? So there is a mantra bath. Pavitra Pavitro Va. That verse is there. These rishis know how to adjust. So Bhisma was one of the 12 great authorities in preaching this cult of devotional service. Therefore, he could receive and welcome all powerful sages assembled there at his deathbed from all parts of the universe. So, although Bhisma was on the deathbed, he knew how to welcome the sages. And although he was in the deathbed, he welcomed them. Okay. So, he was certainly unable at that time to welcome and receive them physically because he was neither at his home nor in the normal healthy condition. But he was quite fit by the activities of his sound mind, and therefore he could utter sweet words with hearty expression. All of them were well received. It is said, how you can welcome the person by offering asana, pani, and vani. So at least, okay, even if you cannot offer, there are 3 things. If you want to receive the person, welcome the person, there are 3 minimum things you should offer. Sitting place, pani means water, and vani. So if all 3 is not present, then at least पानी तो रहेगा किसी के भी घर में. And a vani you can offer. Vani means nice sweet words. Okay, if you don't have water, don't worry. At least welcome them with good words, by loving words. So Bhismadev knew the etiquettes how to welcome them. Okay, so he welcomed them with sweet words, with a hearty expression, and all of them were well received. And one can perform one's duty by physical work, by mind, and by words. So okay, you may not be able to do physically. At least you should do by mind or by words. If you can't do by words, at least you can do within the mind. And he knew well how to utilize them in the proper place, and therefore there was no difficulty for him to receive them, although physically unfit. So this one they've received them this way. Okay, so all can understand this part. He said, Krishnam cha tat prabhavagya asinam jagadisvara hridistam pujya masa maya yo upa. So, the Vigraham, Lord Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, yet he manifests his transcendental form by his internal potency. This very Lord was sitting before Bhismadev, and since Bhismadev knew of his glory, he worshipped him duly. Okay, so yeah, yeah. So Bhismadev knew very well that who is Lord Krishna. So when Lord Krishna was present, Bhismadev worshipped him. Okay, uh, how mentally he worshipped Lord Krishna. That was how he performed. He respected Lord Krishna. So if you remember, when Rasya Yajna was being performed by Maharaj Yudhishthir, what happened? That everyone, they wanted to find the Agra Puja, who should be offered first worship. So all the sages were there, Vyasdev, Dhaumya, Bhismadev, and all recommended. All were giving different opinion. At that time, Sahadev came and told, Lord Krishna is the first person to be worshipped. So, and all agreed, Vyasdev, Bhismadev. Although Bhismadev was elder, but so Lord Krishna was offered first worship in the Rajya Yajna. So Bhismadev knew who Lord Krishna is. Panduputra nu upasinan prasya prema sangatan abhayachashta anuragascher andibhutena chaksusa. The son of Maharaj Pandu were sitting silently nearby, overtaken with affection for their dying grandfather. Seeing this mother congratulated them with feeling, and there were tears of ecstasy in his eyes, for he was overwhelmed by the love and affection. So when Maharaj Pandu died, he said, what happened that the Pandavas were small children. Okay. And that's why they were naturally brought up under the affection of elderly member of the royal family, especially by Bhisma. So, कभी-कभी हम घर में देखते हैं, let's say there are two children of parents. Sometimes we found that one children is crying, or one children is in good condition, another child is in helpless condition. So, whom mother will give attention? The one who is in very helpless condition. So, Pandavas were also in helpless condition because they didn't have father. So, Bhisma, seeing this condition, Bhisma was so affectionate for them. Okay. So, later on, when so same way the Bhismadev have grown and developed the affection for Pandava. And later on, when Pandavas were grown up, so they were cheated by Duryodhana and company. And Bhismadev, although he knew that Pandavas were innocent and when unnecessarily put into trouble, could not take the side of Pandava for political reason. He could not take the side of Pandava. So at the last stage of his life, when Bhismadev saw his most exalted grandson, headed by Maharaj Yudhishthira, sitting very gently at his side, the great warrior grandfather could not check his loving tears. So seeing these children, they are well situated in royal orders. Bhismadev also got tears in his eyes. So which were automatically flowing from his eyes. It's not that he was making up the tears. He remembered the great tribulation suffered by his most pious grandson. Bhismadev remember everything, how Pandavas were suffering. Certainly, he was the most satisfied man because of Yudhishthira being enthroned in a place of Duryodhana. And thus, he began to congratulate them. Okay. So, from this words onwards, now we will discuss tomorrow that how Bhisma Dev is pacifying Yudhishthira Maharaj. So, that part we'll discuss tomorrow. So, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If you have any question, comment, feedback, you can unmute and ask.